Good morning. I am the OCR project leader at the BNF, and so I'm going to talk to you about OCR and explaining to you what we did during this project on OCR. So let me go quickly through the presentation of the library, and then I'll focus more on the tools. And in particular, the interaction that this quality control, OCR quality control, with a whole series of tests that meant we could evaluate the quality of the documents produced by our service providers here. Now, it's an important challenge because the idea is to check and control the quality of what the OCR software provide. We needed to compare physical reality, so a digital document which had been scanned, with its digital representation produced by the OCR engines. Now, one of the methods we had available was creating a standard, what we call a ground truth in our jargon, and to compare that with what is produced by the OCR engines. Now, the idea is to compare and evaluate to get criteria for comparisons in terms of error in transcription of the text, segmentation errors. Did the OCR recognize all the different portions of the text? Did it confuse illustration and text, for example? And to check that it hadn't forgotten text portions. So the first stage in this process is the creation of this standard ground truth document. This we can use IT tools to do this. One of those was provided to us in the project. It's called Alethea, and it was developed and maintained by Salford University. This allows us, as you can see on the screen, to go from one scanned image to a digital representation with this text transcribed, the different portions of the document, the illustration, the upper and lower margins, and the text blocks. Those are the points that mostly interest us, particularly the text blocks. And how does this tool look? Well, it makes available to digital specialists certain tools which mean that one can create the ground truth. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen here. And it mainly describes the document to take the text, not manually, of course, and then we have a digital document in page format, a specific format, and that output can then be compared. And then we will be able to evaluate the reliability, the accuracy of our OCR document produced by an OCR engine, so usually a service provider, to see how accurate this OCR document is. So that was part of what we did during the project. Again, we are going to use tools to help us, so we will compare to digital documents. Now, these tools, as you can see, there are two of them. We tested two tools. The first one, which meant we were able to evaluate the quality of the text transcription, so really focused on the text. Now, that tool was developed by the University of Alicante, and the second tool allowed us to evaluate the quality of the segmentation, and I'll come on to that shortly. So, first tool then, the idea was to compare the two texts, the text produced by the OCR engine and the text as it really exists in our heritage documents. So this activity well, it's very useful indeed. We would really advise using automatic tools because we're comparing characters and words. It's a very practical tool. To do this, it provides us with two interesting criteria. One on words, one on characters, to see how reliable and accurate the OCR tool is. Now, depending on the type of expectations we have, we would tend to use at the BNF, we would tend to use the word accuracy criteria. It has good performance. It can work on a page level, on a document level, so give an overall indication of accuracy of the OCR at the level of the document. It can also work on margins. It's very useful because it has quite a lot of options for comparison, whether you take account of accents, punctuation, this type of criteria that may vary depending on the project. The second type of tool, here we were evaluating not so much the transcription of text accuracy, but here we were evaluating how much, whether the OCR tool on segmentation had done its job properly. Had it forgotten any words? Had it forgotten any paragraphs, any lines of text? So that is something that does happen quite often. Did it not make a mistake in confusing text and illustration? Those are things that do happen frequently. You can see on the screen the result of the comparison. So here you can see a graphic representation with colors, and that means that you can quickly see if there are mistakes on a page. So different types of errors, words that have been forgotten, and also having words that were not present in the document but have been interpreted as a word in the OCR, words that have been grouped together, words that have been cut out arbitrarily, and so on. Another thing that's useful about this tool is that the comparison methods can be, settings can be done depending on the use that is desired for the document. That is very practical because depending on the use that one intends to have for the OCR corpus, whether it's for a search engine or whether it is higher quality requirements, if you're going to have digital production, this tool can be adapted to the types of use that you are going to have for the output. So the results for us, well, when we tested these three tools, we found were research tools that came from research labs, and they were operational in terms of digitization of heritage documents. They were efficient, and they are now part of our OCR toolbox at the BNF. They're not perfect, but they are fully operational. I would say that they are operational. They've been used by different people here without any great difficulty. Different people who work in different jobs. They are fully operational. Another result of this evaluation, we already knew it, but the creation of the ground truth is something that takes a lot of time. It's between 30 minutes and 1 hour per page, depending on the complexity and the density of the page. And then that means that here at the BNF, we will look at other quality control methods for OCR. One possibility would be the creation of automatic ground truth by generating summary documents, but that's a different subject. Now, these tools are now part of our toolbox. They are being used currently in the test phase of a new heritage digitization market that is going to begin soon. And we've produced about 50 pages of ground truth, particularly using Alicia. And we are currently drafting a practical guide in French to ensure that these tools, which are easy to use, for library practitioners, we hope that they will be able to use by many people, not just by specialists. So it will be a guide for French-speaking universities in particular. So thank you very much for having listened, and thank you again to the University of Alicante for their support, for their constant efforts to improve their tool, and also a word of thanks also to Salford on that.